worst way someone invaded your privacy? My mother installed recording devices in every room of our house because she believed that unmonitored conversations were how children became criminals, and she'd play back our private moments at mandatory family meetings where we had to explain every word. Mom had always been paranoid about what we said when she wasn't around. She started by demanding detailed summaries of every conversation we had at school, making us reenact discussions with friends while she took notes. She'd quiz us separately to see if our stories matched. When my older brother got caught lying about a conversation with his girlfriend, Mom lectured us for 3 hours about how secrets destroyed families. She genuinely believed that every crime started with one unmonitored conversation. When I was 14, Mom announced she'd found the solution. She showed us the tiny microphones that could pick up whispers from across a room. She made it sound reasonable at first, saying it would help us communicate better and resolve conflicts, but then she explained the full system. Every room would be monitored constantly, all audio saved to her computer. Every Sunday after church, we'd have family meetings where she'd play concerning conversations and analyze them together. Within a week, our house became a surveillance state. Mom would sit at her computer for hours with headphones, listening to recordings and taking notes. At our first family meeting, she played a recording of me venting to my sister about a teacher. "Let's discuss why Megan feels comfortable using such violent language," she said, replaying the part where I said I wanted to strangle my teacher. She made me stand up and apologize to an empty chair representing my teacher while my siblings watched. The recordings destroyed any trust between us. My sister stopped talking to me after Mom played a conversation where I'd called her annoying. My brother moved into the garage thinking it might not be bugged, but Mom had put devices there too. We learned to communicate in writing, passing notes that we'd immediately flush, but Mom noticed the silence and added more rules. We had to have at least 10 minutes of conversation per room per day, or she'd assume we were hiding something. I started losing my mind from the constant surveillance. I'd lie in bed at night, afraid to even breathe too loud because Mom might analyze my breathing patterns. When I talked in my sleep about a boy I liked, Mom played it at our family meeting and made me explain my impure unconscious thoughts. I developed a stutter from the pressure of knowing every word was recorded. Mom said the stutter was proof the system was working. One night I found her recording device in my room and destroyed it with a hammer. Mom's response was swift. She installed new devices hidden inside light fixtures and vents where we couldn't reach them. She added cameras to catch us destroying equipment. Then she started the punishment recordings. If we broke a rule, she'd lock us in our rooms and play audio of our worst moments on repeat. I had to listen to myself crying for 10 hours straight. The sound of my own misery became torture. So then I tried staying silent, communicating only in nods and gestures. But Mom hired a speech therapist to force me to talk, saying my silence was self-harm. When I still wouldn't speak, she threatened to have me institutionalized for selective mutism. I had no choice but to perform conversations, talking about nothing just to fill her recording quota. My brother snapped during a family meeting where Mom was playing a recording of him crying after a breakup. He grabbed her laptop and smashed it against the wall. Mom called the police, saying he'd assaulted her. When officers arrived, she played edited recordings that made it sound like he'd been planning violence for weeks. They arrested him while Mom sobbed about her dangerous son. After that, Mom started live streaming our family meetings to her church group. She'd play our most humiliating recordings to strangers who'd pray for our souls. She hired someone to transcribe thousands of hours of audio, creating searchable databases of every word we'd said. We weren't her children anymore. We were subjects in her surveillance experiment. Child services showed up after someone from Mom's church reported the live streams. When the social worker asked to speak with us privately, Mom said that was impossible. All conversations had to be recorded. The social worker asked to hear recent recordings, and Mom proudly played clips she thought showed good parenting. Instead, they heard hours of children begging for privacy, crying about surveillance, developing anxiety disorders. They removed us that day, but Mom had prepared for this. As we packed our things, she revealed her final recording. She'd been wearing a wire during every interaction with social services, every court hearing. "I have 50 hours of audio," she said, smiling. "Conversations where you all lie about me, where you admit to things that could get you in serious trouble." She held up a USB drive. "This goes to judges, police, your new foster families, unless you come home voluntarily." The social worker reached for it, but Mom stepped back. "I've already uploaded copies everywhere," she said. "One click and everyone hears what these children really are." My sister started crying. My brother looked defeated. The social worker was calling for backup, and Mom stood there, finally holding all the power, with years of our lives recorded and ready to weaponize. "So," she said, her finger hovering over her phone, "are you coming home, or should I start sending files?" Full story on the channel below.